human beings should not be treated as pawns in a political game. What is happening in terms of sending these migrants, most of whom have fled great harm, and sending them across the country for the sake of some political showmanship, it's just irresponsible.
Yeah, that's Vice President Kamala Harris lashing out at red state governors for busing migrants into blue states, even dropping them outside her D.C. residence, as critics slam her performance as the border czar. Our next guest knows firsthand how bad it's gotten at the border. Pinal County Sheriff, Arizona Sheriff, and U.S. Senate candidate Mark Lamb joins us now. Sheriff, thank you for joining us.
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks for having me on.
You know, Texas gets a lot of the attention when it comes to the border, for good reason, but Arizona is just as much in the throes of the problems as any state. And so when you look at the vice president saying, well, we shouldn't bus them away from these border states, for one, her administration did the same thing, just maybe not to blue cities. And for two, is she not doing the same thing? She's using these people as political pawns by keeping the border open.
Well, first of all, what's irresponsible is not closing the border. That's her job. That's the first irresponsible part. The second irresponsible part is these governors from Arizona, Texas, yeah, they're busing people. What are they supposed to do with them? But also, for every bus they send, there's probably 10 to 20 buses that the U.S. government sends to different places. A lot of red states, you don't hear them complaining. And they're also bringing them right here to New York and other places like Chicago. So it's not just the governors, it's actually their government as well.
You know, I grew up in Dalton, Georgia. It's a textile industry. I guarantee you this rug was made there. That's how much carpet's made there. In the 80s and 90s, thousands of mostly Mexican migrants came to Dalton, Georgia, most of them illegally, but their kids and now grandkids are legal residents of the United States. What I hear from my friends I went to school with, they're of Mexican descent, over and over again, is the people coming now aren't coming for the same reasons. Have you experienced that?
Well, yeah, and then the proof positive to that is the fact that we've had 140 terrorists, people that they've caught that have been on the terrorist watch list. You know, there's 92,000 unaccompanied minors that have come in thus far. Last week in the Yuma sector, or 2 weeks ago, they had 1,600 people from 43 different countries. We've had 33,000 Chinese nationals. I know I'm spitting out a lot of statistics, but
we need them.
That just shows you it's not what it used to be. Yeah. We got people, this is a global thing. Yeah. We've got people coming here, and a lot of these folks do not have good intentions. And for those that do, we have a legal process for them to come into this country. They don't follow it.
Well, and that's the other half of this argument. If we weeded out, if we had a vetting process, don't you feel like we would get more people here for the right reasons?
Absolutely. We've got to do a better job. Look, Congress and Senate have not done a good job of putting a good immigration plan together. It's part of the reason I'm running for the U.S. Senate.
There we go.
I've realized that there's only so much I can do as a sheriff. You know, we looked into Mayorkas. There's a charge in Arizona participating in or assisting a human smuggling organization. One of those things says intentionally, blah, 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 or omission by a public servant in his official public servant duties.
Yeah.
So my agency, we put a case together on him for human trafficking, and unfortunately, because of the supremacy clause and some case law, we weren't able to take it all the way to the grand jury, which is why I said, look, the fight has to go to Washington, D.C. So anybody out there that wants to support me, they can go to sherifflamforsenate.com.
Real quick, you are running for Senate. You've got a big presence on social media, maybe not a national presence yet, but I think you're working on that. You're running to unseat Kyrsten Sinema. What makes you a better senator than Kyrsten Sinema for Arizona?
Look, the rise in crime with the border crisis that this administration, including Kamala Harris, who's supposed to be the czar, has created in this country, we now more than ever need a proven conservative crime fighter that knows how to deal with the border issue and also knows how to deal with the rising crime in this country. That's why I'm running. I don't think there's going to be any better candidate than me to deal with the issues that we're dealing with in this country.
Hey, listen, we appreciate your life of service, and good luck to you.
Likewise to you, brother.
Yes,
Thank you for having me on.
God bless you.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.